What's up, everybody? Welcome back to How to Make a Batman Cowl Part 3. This is the last and final part. I just finished up putting all the foam, not all the foam, but a lot of the foam onto here. And, yeah, my hot glue gun broke, so I couldn't finish up the ears or the rest of it. I had to make a few minor adjustments, but other than that, that's okay. So I'm using Mod Podge, and what this does is just pretty much makes a coat layer so the paint doesn't dissolve and kind of go away. I experienced that with the cowl, and I had to go back because I was lazy and didn't put Mod Podge on some parts. And, yeah, you're going to want to put something underneath what you're doing so you don't get Mod Podge or paint on the floor. I still have the stains on my board that didn't come off because I was stupid enough to put paper down. Idiot. Anyway, so yeah, I just want to cover the general area, not like too much in there because stuff can be spread really thin. So yeah, I just took a spare piece of foam. You can take a paintbrush, but I was just too lazy to find one, and you know, a spare piece of foam works pretty fine. Fairly fine. And I'm just kind of covering it all up and making it a nice even coat of this stuff so I can get it pretty much everywhere with the little drops I got. Just kind of spread it out. And once it's all set and dried, you can add your paint, which I just use black acrylic paint. That's just funny. Anyway. Yeah, just mixed the paint in there and kind of just gave it a paint job. Nothing fancy, nothing, you know, artistic or professional, but it's just a nice even coat of a paint job. And you might want to go with either 2 or 3 coats of paint, just because the first one isn't going to look as good. Maybe the third one will look perfect. But yeah, it's all just to your idea what you think is good. So here is the cowl half painted, and I'm holding it by my hand because my tripod just totally gave out and I couldn't use it. So yeah, we have the cowl right here, 2 halves. Kind of looks like more of a Harvey Dent mask than a Batman mask. No one? No one? Okay, well it still has a gap right there. I had to put another foam piece on. It still had the ears, so I had to wait so I can get another hot glue gun to finish this up. And yeah, so this is what the back looks like all painted. This is what's pretty much going to look like. It came out really nicely, I should say. And yeah, it's just the area of the cardboard. I actually had to take an X-Acto knife. I would recommend a file or sandpaper to sand out the eyes and shape them right. And the nose kind of sticks out too far. So those are the only problems I had with it. Other than that, I think it came out pretty nicely. And here's me just repeating the first process and putting Mod Podge on the side. And I'm trying doing this, holding it with one hand, holding the camera with one hand, and trying to paint with the other. So it was pretty difficult, but I found a way. So I just kind of covered the general area. You don't want to cover too much. It's just kind of like dotted lines. And you know, once that's done, you just kind of use a brush. And this one was kind of dried out because I forgot to wash it, or maybe didn't care to wash it. So it just kind of dried out and just didn't work too much. I couldn't do it with one hand, so I had to turn off the camera, which I will in a little bit. And yeah, so like I said, you spread it out into a thin coat, so it's nice and thin everywhere. You don't want like it thick in one area and thin in one area, so you just want a nice, even thin coat all over the mask, or the section that you're painting at the time. And then you just add the paint once the Mod Podge is dry. This is what the final piece looked like. I thought it was a pretty cool shot with the garbage behind it, kind of like a before and after. And I think it came out really well. I really like how it came out. I also added the elastic, like I said in the last video, but I cut off one piece because one piece was cutting to my neck. Okay, here's the neck pieces. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I think. I don't know. I'm not going to name them, but here I am trying to remove the neck piece right there, and just trying to fit everything together. And I'm bending the cardboard into shape, and then yeah, just moving it and kind of bending it into shape. I don't know why that thing was doubled. I guess that was a mistake. Whatever. Yeah, just bending everything into shape and just kind of taking, well, there it is, all hot glued and ready, because the hot glue gun I got, the hot glue sticks were too thin for the hot glue gun. The part that catches and pushes the hot glue through couldn't get them because they were too thin. And here I am just fitting piece 1, we'll call that, we can call that piece 2, I guess, and then we'll go on for 3, 4, and 5, and 6, I guess. I should have put numbers on them so you guys can see, but sorry about that. So I'm just taking off. After a close inspection of the picture, I just took it off and tried to bend it and fit it into place. This is me just bending one side of the cardboard, just trying to make sure everything fits nice and evenly. And yeah, so that's that. And I noticed there's a little overlap, and if you have any extra overlap or anything like that that doesn't quite fit, you can trim it off, but trim off as least as you can, the least amount as you can, so you don't trim off too much. So you just, little by little by little by little. I made that mistake with the headpiece, and there's a gaping hole underneath the foam. Not gaping, but there's a pretty big hole in the cardboard. So you just want to trim off a little bit, just to make sure everything can fit. Okay, so I'm trying to use my hot glue gun right here, but it's just not working out, so I decided to just turn off the camera and do it myself, or try to do it without it rolling, so you have to watch me fiddle with it. Fiddle? Use that one? Yeah, I guess I did. Anyway, I decided to go into pictures because this would be easier. We have number 1 right there, I guess you could say. And then, we have these 2 pieces right here, we'll call those 3 and 4. You can kind of look at this and kind of find out which pieces are which. We have 5 and 6, I guess. I'm going to stop now. You can kind of see which pieces those are. And I kind of doubled up what we did previously, and just to make it kind of, mirrored. And then I added this piece right here, as you can see. And I recommend you pause the video every time the picture turns if you're doing this along with me. And you also want to make sure that it doesn't get crooked like the one on the left. And then, this is how it looks right there. All I had to do then was to add foam to it. And that's pretty much it. I was done. I had to add the hot glue, the foam down, and I had to add Velcro instead of the elastic that's on the back. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and a comment. I'll put more tutorials up, and they're going to be more in detail. But till then, I'll see you guys later on spare time. Have a wonderful day, evening, or month, or whatever. I'll see you guys.